Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Everton 0, Manchester United 2. Goodison Park. Everton slipped to their second consecutive defeat. It's been a while since we've said that. Southampton game, funny enough, was the last time we would have said that. It doesn't feel right in a way, but it's not unwholly expected. The way we've been playing in the last few weeks.
Yeah, disappointing. You know, we've gone. I think if you'd have said after Southampton, the next time we say this will be New Year's Day, we'd have probably at that time gone, yes please, wouldn't we? But obviously we've had, let's be honest about it, we've had a poor Christmas. We've took 2 points out of 12. And ironically the Chelsea point was alright.
Yeah. It's
the 3 games after you know what? Not even so much yesterday.
No.
But the West Brom and the Bournemouth games were the killers. If we'd have won on Saturday against Bournemouth, then even yesterday you'd have gone, alright, we haven't performed there, but you know, at least we've done alright.
The Man United game was the culmination. The frustration, I think, coming out the fans is a culmination of the previous 2 games. Listen, Man United are always a tough game. We've done alright in the last 2, 3, 4 years against them, but it's always a tough game. And on paper, they're a much better side. You know, you just look at some of the plays they've got. They're just much better side. But the culmination of what, because the way to look at it is, the last 3 games, if we'd gone, let's say we'd gone all out to win the West Brom game and the Bournemouth game, and picked up 3 points in one of them, which we were easily capable of doing, then that's more points in one game than we've picked up in 4.
Picked up anyway, yeah.
So I think that's the main frustration, is that we've not saying we've not tried, but we haven't openly gone for one game over the Chelsea game. You put to a side, no problem with that. But the other 3 games, playing 2 teams in the bottom 3 at the time we played them, and only getting a point is poor for me. And then, as I say, the frustration against Man United was just pent up, because it was the first home game, and we've ended up getting a defeat in pretty much the same style as we've lost the previous 2 games. And obviously, fans are. I think it's a difficult one because fans want us to be more expansive. And listen, we're all fickle. Football fans are all fickle. I'll hold my hands up and say the same. I am. We all have short memories as football fans, of course, because if you feel like you've turned the corner, you want to build on that. You don't want to sort of sit and rest on your laurels, and I feel like we have, but also maybe without knowing the true story of what's going on. And when I say true story, I mean, and this is where football teams annoy me, is not having a true picture of what's going on, who's fit, who's not fit, who's surplus, who's might be going out the door. And I know they're not going to tell us all those things, but I think when you know information, it helps paint a picture of what's going on. And when you're a fan, you sort of you are left in the dark most of the time of what's going on. I mean, you know, whether that be when players are coming back from injury, or who's actually fit, or all those little things, and it just leads to frustration, I think, especially when you see the team that starts.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time we've lost since Arsenal at Goodison. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
When Ronald Koeman was sacked, so that's unbelievable. You know, when you think about it, because at that time it felt as though Atalanta was whatever it was, but you felt as though at that time there was nothing in that team. So if you look at it like that, and that was October, wasn't it? You can look at it that way and go, well, it's been a couple of months, and now it's only the 1st of January, this one. But I think for me, I don't know, it's hard, isn't it? Because we were in a real predicament, weren't we? I know some people will say, nah, we weren't. It was just, but we were. For me, we were. My opinion was we were. And Sam Allardyce has done well there. Or the team have done well, whoever you want to give the credit to. As a club, or as a team, we've done well since then to pull ourselves into that top half of the table. You know, And like you said, I think we said on the Bournemouth final where if we'd ended up getting a draw against Bournemouth, we'd have been 8th on Saturday, Saturday night, whatever. But it's for me, the West Brom game was frustrating and it was a poor performance, but I was prepared to go, that's just an isolation. We just played and there's injuries and they weren't expansive either, but the Bournemouth one stuck in my throat. And then that yesterday,
decisions made in the Bournemouth game for me off the back of yesterday are strange, because I just think if we hadn't started with McCarthy and we started with Garner and Snyderland and maybe one more offensive player, whether it be Davis or whoever was fit to play, and then bring McCarthy on, you might have seen the same influence McCarthy showed in this game, which we'll talk about in a minute, but just little things like that. But the team, what was it, 7 changes, and what's mad is Vlasic comes right in from the cold, not on the bench for Bournemouth, and starts this game, which is fine, but then people like John Joe Kenny goes out the team and Mason Holgate goes to right back and Blassie starts, and they're the things where you can't sit and go, well, he shouldn't have done that or he should have done this. It's just that is that the problem, that there have been so many games over the last few weeks and the team is so stretched that might be one of the problems that we're dealing with at the moment, is that the squad, because you think about how many games we've played this season, and if we have got injuries and there is a lack of quality, and he also maybe doesn't want to play some players because of their attitude, let's just say, or he just wants to weed them out, you think that's half the problem over Christmas? Yeah, but be honest, when you saw that side yesterday, what did you do? I looked at it and thought there's actually quite a nice balance to that team, and I felt it. And certainly the way the first half was, if we'd have played that team at Bournemouth on Saturday, we'd have probably won. Yeah, and that's again, what's mad. That's what annoys me, is that for me, like we just said, I'd have tried to put my best teams out against Bournemouth and West Brom, and not have been so concerned about the Man United game. And again, you'll turn around and say, well, maybe Rooney wasn't fit and someone else wasn't fit and whatever, but
I think
maybe that's why he's risked Garner as well in the Bournemouth game.
But then he could have just held him back for United to give him the extra 2 days. The Garner one is a mad one for me. That's the one I struggle with.
But then isn't he, by playing Garner, trying to win the Bournemouth game?
Yeah, but like you said on the final word, he could have played McCarthy and Garner sub.
That's what, I think.
And then he could have gone, James,
I think that's the stupidity of that game.
You've done a half, come off. It's just, the thing what I will say in Allardyce, Sam Allardyce's defences, and this was kind of the case with David Unsworth as well. There's just been so many games in a short space of time that it's like you're going from game, you're just on the ropes from every game, and you're rolling from one to the next. And I think now, for me personally, after this stupid game on Friday,
there's a game on Friday
apparently, I will then start to judge him when he's got the 1 game a week roughly for the rest of the season on his decision making, because that should be ample time to get players fit.
Well, I was going to say there's two things: fitness and getting coached. So you're on both scores. I think what's happened as well is when he came in, he saw very obvious problems and fixed them really quickly by doing very obvious things. Now that's great, but I think that relied on players playing in a certain way, and that meaning a lot of energy, a lot of mental energy and awareness and all the rest of it. I think what's happened is, in the last 3 games, there's been you're playing against teams that look at you and go, well, hang on, you're not really going to attack us, so we've got to sort of find ways. Now, we played West Brom, who haven't got any quality and couldn't find a way. Bournemouth, who have got quality in the attacking third, and realised that because we weren't really going to have a go with them, that they could put us under more pressure. And United was sort of the same. In the first half, it was to and fro, there wasn't much really happening.
I thought we were a better side.
But
margin
without doing anything though.
Yeah.
Whereas United,
but we were the team that looked more likely to score.
Without actually trying to score though.
No,
I know. But what I mean is, I don't want him for the. What I mean is though, is that I just think that when a manager comes in, you do sometimes get an effect, or it's a gradual effect. You look at someone like Hodgson of Palace. It's been a gradual effect. To the point where, I think they're unbeaten in whatever amount of games they are now. It's been a gradual. Allardyce, it was very quick because I think the better players, so it was more like do this. But I think that's sort of worn off now because you only get that. You've got to evolve, I think, your tactics if your tactics are so basic. And I think that's half the problem, is that he said himself, maybe after the West Brom game, we sorted the defence out now. Now we have to sort the attacking part out. But I worry that he's finding out now that he doesn't actually have the players to do that, and that's the big problem. It's the transition. He's saying, well, defensively we'll be alright, better than we were, but we have to transition that. And it's weird because when he first come in as well, we did look like we had a goal in us, but now we don't look like we have got a goal in us, because all those players have been worn down just by the effect of playing so many games. So we now go back to the original. It's like the problems that we had before he came in have come back. They're not as bad, but they're still clearly there. And I think this is now where he'll look at it and go, I think what Allardyce can actually do now is, listen, we've all had our little goals. I'm very disappointed his attitude towards the West Brom game, playing 5 at the back, and a little bit like that for playing 3 centre midfielders on Saturday. But I think he'll turn around. He can, hand on heart, turn around to all of us now and go, well, just look at what I've got. And he can turn around to the board now and go, look what I've got. I do need that centre forward. I do need X, Y and Z. And I think fans that just need to take a step back, all of us, and go, actually, they're fucking garbage. we are not very good.
What's frustrating is I think there's good players in that squad, but they don't fit together in any kind of team.
It's a Frankenstein squad.
It is. I mean, if you look at Schneiderlin, like I said it on the aftermatch thing yesterday, if you put him in Liverpool's team, he'd probably be so much more effective, because he's got lightning players running everywhere. He can just do his job of winning the ball. There's no kind of impetus on him and emphasis on him having to move the ball and get up the pitch, because he can just sit and do it. But in our midfield, because we're not blessed with that it's highlighted more. And the James McCarthy thing shone a big light on Schneiderlin when he come on. Of what we went. When Garner's there, it's not as noticeable, because Garner's bum here, there and everywhere. But when he isn't there, it's like a big thing, is that he can go and win the ball, but everything's too slow. But we're like that all over the pitch. There's good individual players, but there's no team. And I think Sam Allardyce has looked and gone, well, these haven't got anything really going forward. And that blame has to lie with Ronald Koeman. It does. People can have a go at Steve Walsh. I'd have a go with him myself, because I'd have a go at the whole process, not individuals, but the whole process. But we had, we've harped on about it long enough, but Romelu Lukaku told us in February he was going, right, when he said he wasn't signing that new contract. Even with Romelu Lukaku, we needed 3 or 4 more attacking players, fast. So I looked at United yesterday. Athletes, most of them big,
fucking powerful, man.
Yeah, but that Central didn't touch the ball. But he's the second half when he decided to play. He is Lingard, sprinter. Martial, sprinter. Rashford came on that sense, sprinter. Mata was absolutely brilliant. That little runt in midfield. Herrera, he's not great, but he's around and he's harrying and he's in the referee's. They're all ready to do stuff up and down, and ours are just look like boys at times, or sluggish. When you're going, there's the difference. That isn't even their best side. And yet, I know it wasn't our best side either. We could have had a few other players that have made us better, but there was just like it. I just thought there was a big torch on it yesterday in that second half. We didn't really lay a glove on them until McCarthy snapped a couple of them, and then it got the crowd involved, you know.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying, first half it was a poor game. There was very little quality in it. It was up and down. But it was without having to say much quality from either side. And then we've come out second half, and they've just took over, you know, and dominated the ball, and showed pace and physicality and that extra bit of quality. You know, both goals have been finished with quality. I mean, the first one, yes, Wayne Rooney loses it on the edge of the box, and Wayne didn't have his best game.
No.
I think he needs to get another 3 or 4 games under his belt again. And he's that kind of player. If he has any kind of layoff, he needs to get back into it.
It's the sharpness.
Yeah.
But you know, that goal, I don't know what he was doing on the edge of the box with the pass, because it was terrible. But when Martial hits it, we've got 9 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
So it's not like they just went bum bum.
Well, I watched Andy Gray last night, and Peter Reid, Ian Rush and Richie Keys doing their bit on beIN Sport.
Nice.
It's on YouTube. They're always on. You can always find them on YouTube. And they basically said the same thing. He said Everton have got loads of men behind the ball, but no one's engaging the ball.
No.
And that happened a few times. The amount of times Michael Keane backs off forwards is unbelievable. He just backs off and backs off and backs off, and it's like, lad, do something. Like,
did you think he had a bad game?
I thought he was fucking terrible. I thought he was fucking shocking, and I don't mind saying that.
I didn't.
I thought he was abysmal, Baz. I thought he was terrible. He doesn't.
The amount of blocks he got,
but he's not reactive though.
Nicked the ball.
But I don't think he's reactive though. I think he at times I look at him and I just think, you want to be anywhere else but on this football pitch. He doesn't. I've said this before to you. He's not a leader at all.
No.
Not a leader. And I just look at him and I think, you look lost. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think you look lost. You look so down for. I mean, the second goal, he just lets Lingard waltzes past him.
But doesn't he waltz past Holgate as well?
But he does. Well, Holgate, no, he doesn't, because Holgate actually throws the ball to him.
Yeah, but then he should engage him. He doesn't.
I know, but he's a.
I've got to say,
he's a centre back. Don't just give him a smack.
I've got to say, I haven't seen the goal again. I've seen it live, right? But it was below me, and Holgate's attempt at putting a tackle in is embarrassing. And then is it Keane?
I know, but
does he bend it round Keane?
No, he bends it round Williams. But he's already gone past Keane.
He went past 2. But from me memory, he danced past 2.
But what I mean is, though, he's a centre back, and if he's just watching them waltz past one, get yourself set. He doesn't. Players just walk past them like it's not even like he's slow. It's just that he doesn't react. And I just thought he was abysmal yesterday. He backs. There was one in the first half where he backed off Lingard all the way to the box, and it's just like, start engaging people,
but I think that was after he tried to nick the one from Martial and he got spun. But there you
go. There's a mistake after a mistake. I just don't think he should be playing.
I thought Holgate was poor. I'm not going to talk about the left back because people don't like it if you're actually honest about the player. Ashley Williams was poor.
I thought Ashley Williams was our best defender, to be honest.
No, I didn't.
But I just think that I just don't see the point in changing it again. Why was Kenny not playing? Yeah. Why wasn't Holgate
playing? Kenny might have not been playing because he's played a lot of the games. He doesn't
strike me as a kid. I know he had a poor game on Saturday, but he doesn't strike.
Sam Allardyce might have looked and gone, he just looks like he's not as sharp as he has been. We don't know, do we? Like you've just said, there's games, isn't there? He might have, maybe mentally, Allardyce might have thought.
But going back to the original point, is they highlighted the point that, like we were just saying there, when he's got the ball for the first goal, they've got all the men behind the ball, but no one's engaging them. No one's taking the responsibility to go to the ball. There's no one going out to him, so even just to force him to beat that player, to buy someone else time. They're all just standing back. And this has been a big thing of talking about tactics. One of the big things of Allardyce's defending is get a line of players, get all your defenders, get all your midfielders, and just stop the pockets. Stop the pockets. But what Man United showed was the quality to just do that in front. But as I say, it's changing your tactics, because if you're all doing that, a good manager like Mourinho will go, well, hang on lads, they're all sitting back, start having a few pops from outside the box.
Pull some people out.
You know, because I understand that. It's listen, I think you go back to the Newcastle game when the kid hit the post, and we said it ourselves. Listen, you're going to have a go from there, lad, and you score, fair play to you. So there's a little bit in that. But at the same time, I just think maybe it's not the centre-back, maybe it's the person sitting in front of them. Maybe that's where Garner, you lose the effectiveness there of Garner, because he does engage. Garner is a player who engages, and we've seen that when McCarthy comes on, he engages. Whereas Snarden doesn't engage, he just sort of, he sits in front of the back four and wants the ball and dictate. But yeah, both goals are very. I mean, the second
finish is brilliant.
No, you can't take away from the finish. As I said, the second one is poor because I think it's a Holgate throw. He gives it straight to him, and then he walks past Keane, and then Ashley Williams does this stupid sort of. But Ashley Williams actually turns his back on him and sort of does the old like that kind of thing, which he does quite nice.
Well, he bends the first goal. He bends around Ashley Williams.
So, but they're both poor. They both can be stopped. But it was just a poor second half. I think we just run out of ideas. Nias, everything was just bouncing off him.
And yeah, he had our best chance at 1-0.
He did, but you know what? I mean, I was right in front of that header, and that wasn't an easy chance.
No,
I didn't think that. I've seen people going, "Oh, I think that was an easy chance." It sort of there wasn't a lot of pace on it, and he had to sort of try and bend, and it was our best chance.
If he'd have flicked it,
but that was our best spell.
Davis was there.
I mean, what did you think about him taking Rooney off?
Yeah, the sub was. I understand his thought process about the midfield, because they were overrunning us. He said he was thinking about putting it on. Rooney, I don't know. Rooney, you know how I feel about Wayne Rooney. I love Wayne Rooney, but he wasn't in the game at all. The substitution couldn't get my head around was Lennon. Absolute pointless. I don't even think he touched the ball. It was a pointless sub. He put him on the left hand side. Well, there was no reason for
the Rooney one. I just think Rooney would have been sent off.
Yeah, well, the lad next to me said the same
I think
thing.
He would have started.
Well, he was losing. He booked.
He gave the ball away. The foul he got booked for was a brilliant foul, by the way. Tremendous. That's one.
Oh, it was. But then when it happened.
Oh yeah, when they did it 8 times, then it never happened again. But I just thought he probably would have got a little bit right, I think, because that's what he tends to do when he's not playing well and he'd already made a mistake.
And we're getting beat.
He starts losing control a little bit, and I think he probably would have been sent off, and he's probably thinking we need him for the game on Friday. So
and we needed energy in the midfield.
Yeah.
But
so I had no problem with that.
The Lennon one for me couldn't get me out around it. No point. He's gone out. Aaron Lennon does this. He has pockets of games where he's brilliant, and then he dips, and then he'll have another pocket where he's brilliant.
But is that not down to the lack of quality on the bench, that Lennon was the only player?
Well, yeah, then we're 1-0 down, right? Just put Calvert-Lewin on. And then again, to Mark, go and play off the left.
Yeah,
that's what he done it for Hull.
I'm surprised he didn't throw another. But then isn't that going back to what we've said? Isn't that what we've said? Yeah, who's creative? The obvious one. But then we don't know what conditions he's in. This is the problem, isn't it? We don't know, and it's what we've said numerous times. It's like about the derby: stay in the game as long as possible. You never know what will happen.
He said that, didn't he?
But McCarthy came on, and I just thought McCarthy showed what we've been missing. Someone who will press, is prepared to go in for a tackle. I mean, he won a couple of brilliant tackles that they didn't like. There was one on Pogba. It was a good tackle. Pogba was giving it all, and you're like, he won the ball well, lad. No, but he started giving us the energy. He drove us on, and for that little spell,
we had 10-15 minutes, didn't we? Where the crowd was,
and it was a pity at that point we didn't have 2 strikers on the pitch. We were just pushing on, and we had something about us, and
we always only had 1 in the box, didn't we? And they had 5.
And it was also Holgate getting round the back, and you're asking a centre back to be your right winger, effectively there, aren't you?
Well, this was the other thing. I mean, he got in. There was 1 in the first half, 2 in the first half, where he got in round the back, and we had bodies in the box, and he didn't find a shirt either time. That's not his fault. It's just he'd done well to get up there, but his final ball's not great. We know that. But this is the thing with Martina, and this is the thing that people miss. People think, when I highlight Cuco Martina, right, people think it's just like this personal thing because I don't like it.
Don't say the word. Just stop saying the word Martina then.
Okay.
Just stop saying the word Martina.
Yeah,
we just need a new left back. Stop saying the word Martina, and maybe people will realise what you're talking about. Yeah. We need a new left back.
We do, because yesterday was I looked at fat ass for them, right? Who I still have because his left foot's good. The amount of times he went on the outside yesterday, and it enabled Martial to play him in or come in. Pogba 3 times in the second half. Let him go on the run and just went back inside, and we all committed.
Their right hand side was shocking yesterday.
Lindelof.
The amount of times we could have got down, but every time the player who will not be named got there, he turns back onto his right foot. And I'm not saying that's his fault. He's not a good right back. He's not left footed, so he's not going to be he's all right defending, but people think about it. You know, the last 10 years, what was our most potent thing we had? Baines and Pina. So to have someone playing there who cannot simply get outside and whip a ball in with his left foot, giving us an option, or getting round the back, or getting through the space, or just having that any kind of attacking nous, just leaves us completely one-sided, and so you can't switch the ball, you can't rely on it every time. When you watch on TV, and when a player who's like predominantly one-footed or whatever, what will a pundit always say?
Show him on.
Show him down the outside. Don't show him inside. Don't show him inside. No, when Gylfi Sigurdsson bent that one in Swansea, pundits are like, why is he letting him come inside? He's done that 3 times. Why is he letting him? So, if you're a defender and you're playing against
a one-footed left back,
who's not left-footed, it's not hard. You just push over a little bit, then he has to turn around in a big circle and go back, and the whole team has to start again. For me, Luke Garbett, would you think he's good enough or not, should have been on our bench yesterday. He should have been registered that day, and he should have been on the bench, if that's possible. But he should have been registered yesterday, because what happens if Martina gets injured and Baines is not back? Who plays left back then? So surely, as a club, we should be protecting the team by saying there's a left back in the under-23s, let's register them, let's have them ready just in case.
We need it because of the way our team is. Maybe he could do that job in a more attacking team where the emphasis is not in, but people would still say everything's breaking down because he can't get forward. It's not. We had Mason Holgate, who's a centre back at right back, right, doing his best, because he was getting up and supporting, but his delivery isn't great, but at least he was getting there, so they had something to think about. Okay, they didn't have to worry too much because his final ball's not great, but they had something to think about. But we didn't ever once have that on the left hand side, and if you've got 2 players who can go down and throw balls in either side, then you've got the opportunity to push him in. See, Balassi, if he had a flying left back, whoever it may be, running on the outside of him, sometimes he could have gone and joined in the middle, but he couldn't, because we only had the lad who's having to play there at the minute. It can only go so far up the pitch. It's the same with defensive midfield players, where you go, yeah, well, they're defensive, if they're not expected to get in the box, well, yeah, but when they play, then that means we're even lighter in that box. The second half yesterday, that bit you're talking about, McCarthy come on, snap, the crowd engaged, all of a sudden the players grew a little bit, and United were rocking. Pogba was fuming. He was like that, trying to get them up, because they were wobbling. If we'd have had another centre forward and someone who can run on the outside on both sides, we'd have stretched, you know.
And how many times when we had Baines and Coleman and we were at our best, did you have one going on the outside and then the other one coming in like the old-fashioned left winger, maybe getting a tap in? Coleman, or Coleman numerous times did that when Baines down the left. You know, for me, I just think the club needs to get that sorted out, because it's just you're losing an attacking threat. But
it's like, let's be honest.
Man City paid 150 million for 3 fullbacks in the summer,
because that's how important they are in football. It's like having no centre forward and having to play a midfield player up there, and then going. You're telling me people wouldn't be going, well, he's not good enough to play up there, he's a midfielder. Of course they would. You know, everyone would be identifying the same thing, going, we're saying it now. We've got 2 lads who play up, well, we've got 3 strikers at the club. right? And people are saying, we need a centre forward, we need a centre forward. Well, why is it alright to have a go at Nias or Sandro, but you can't say something about
we need a left back.
We need a left back.
Because we haven't got a functioning left back in the squad.
We just need a left back, and we need a centre forward. We do, and we also need a wide player as well. We need a fast wide player who's an upgrade. But we done all right in that little pocket for that, but there wasn't enough of that in the second half, and that was.
And there was no variation. It was always down the right, because we had nothing on the left. So they just knew if they could, even if.
See, Lennon didn't give Di Martina any favours at all, because Lennon come in and just didn't get in the game. So there was one, I think Martina went on a run, but he had to stop because Lennon didn't offer anything. And you're going, but you put someone in front of the lad who's struggling as it is. You put another right footer in front of him to do this. Do you know what I mean?
United were strong, no way. You look at them physically. They're a big side, aren't they? And like you said before, they've got runners, they've got physical players. Pogba stepped up second half and looked.
Thought Mata was brilliant, and he's not one of their most physical, but he was just dropping off and picking passes and always available. He hit the post, didn't he?
And he can string 3 passes together.
Yeah,
which is a real issue for us.
That's mad, isn't it? Because like I said before, we've got some good football.
But in the first half, we had possession, and it happened a couple of times where, and I think it was side to side to side to side to side to side, and then Rooney tried to, on one of them, sort of, because he had to sort of take a risk at that point, and he tried to ping one in, and there was no one on the left to come inside and get it, and that's because that again comes from, and especially first half, Holgate wasn't really getting into it as advanced areas as he did in the second half, but there was no one trying to get in the back, so you've got no one trying to get on the right, you've got no one trying to get on the left, trying to pick through the holes, so it's just going side to side, and that was allowing Man United to drop back, and then that allows them to break quickly if they turn the ball over. So that
was what was happening with Ronald Koeman's side, wasn't it?
Yeah,
everything was narrow, wasn't it? And in the hope that you'd unlock them that way, but good teams with good players, it's harder to. You've got to stretch them. You've got to open up the pitch, and we don't. I mean, we had Rooney hit a couple of great balls. Once of Vlasic, who headed it across, and if we'd have had more men in the box, that was a chance, you know. And the other thing was the first half, which was a bit strange, was Nias was just on the left all the time, and that must be a tactic because he doesn't normally occupy that position, and that was why when he brought Lennon on, I didn't understand, because Nias had been out there anyway. Do you know what I mean? But again, energy as well. Players have played a lot of games. Some of these have played a lot of games, and you know,
it's hard to know what's going on, isn't it? You say we got beat by a better side.
Yeah, you can't complain about it in terms of they didn't deserve to win, because they did. But I thought we'd done okay first half, and I thought for a portion of the second half it was all right. But for about half an hour in that second half, we couldn't get near them, and that is more of an issue, really. Given we spent 200 million since January, that's quite an issue.
Yeah. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments about this defeat. There you go.
Nothing else to say.
There's nothing else to say, is there? I think we're all just tired.
Happy New Year.
We're all just tired, aren't we? Tired from...
There's been too many games in a short space of time. We're knackered out of being a player.
So many games. I know, fair point. Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Click the bell for alerts, and if you want more videos, join us on Patreon. We'll see you later.